Good morning everyone. It's a nice sunny day here in the UK. This is Steph talking to you today, and I'm going to cover a subject that is very close to my heart because I suffer from this, but also looking to give a lot more information to people who might be suffering from various conditions, and hopefully useful information that you can use and do something with. So today I'm starting what I'm calling the thyroid series. So I'm aiming at doing once a week to give you some more information about various things that may affect the thyroid. I will also be doing a diabetes series, that's what I specialize in. For those of you who don't know me or who have never seen my life, I'm an advanced personal trainer here in the UK that specializing in diabetes type 1 and type 2, as well as hypothyroidism, which is underactive thyroid, and I look at also autoimmune disorders, and I provide programs for people who suffer from this condition to help them resolve them, not just from an exercise point of view but from a nutrition point of view, as I'm a nutritional therapist as well. So let's get started here. So today what we're going to talk about, there's a few things I want to cover. I'm going to try to make these lives not too long. I know sometimes you go on forever and ever more. Being Italians, we like to talk a lot, you know, so but I'll try to keep it as short as I can, and I'm going to go straight to the point to give you as much information as I can. But as I said, I will do more lives every week covering different part of the subject to try to help as many people as I can. Yeah. So first of all, thyroid. What is a thyroid? Well, first of all, there's two thyroid glands. Yeah, they are the base of your neck, and it's a vital gland. So, yeah, so you cannot live without thyroid glands. Well, let me rephrase that. You can live without one, but you're not without both of them. Yeah, so they're vital. So what does the thyroid gland? Plays a major role in the metabolism and growth and the development of a human body. So every cell needs hormones produced by the thyroid gland, and it regulates many body functions, including temperature, your overall metabolism, your heart rate. It regulates a lot of things. Yeah, so that's why it's a vital gland. Hi Catherine, hi Rana. If I don't see you guys, apologies if I don't mention you. If I see you here on the live, I will say hi to you, but feel free to say hi back if I can't see you and I haven't mentioned you. So as I say, is major gland. Yeah, we cannot live without that. It regulates metabolism and many other functions within the body, and if it starts going wrong, then you will definitely know it, because you get huge symptoms, and your body starts giving you you're not going to feel very well, put it that way, if it goes wrong. So how does it work? So the thyroid gland, everything in our body is connected. Yeah, you haven't got one organ that does its own thing and doesn't bother what everything else does. It's all connected. It's all like a cycle, a domino effect. Yeah. So with the thyroid gland, the way it works is we got a gland in our brain called the hypothalamus. What that does, it releases a hormone that's called the thyroid releasing hormone. What that does, it basically tells is a hormone that gets activated first of all if there is not enough thyroid hormone in the body. So the moment the body is struggling, there's not enough thyroid hormone, there is a feedback mechanism that goes straight to the brain saying, hey, we got a problem here. So the first feedback goes to the hypothalamus, a gland in your brain, which then signals to the pituitary gland to release thyroid stimulating hormone that goes straight to the thyroid gland. What is a thyroid stimulating hormone? Basically, it's a hormone that stimulates the thyroid to produce more of the thyroid hormones. Yeah, consider it like a scream. Yeah, so let's just say, if I put an analogy, makes it easier to understand. If I was to say, let's say there's not enough gas in the body. Yeah, gas being if you like, the thyroid hormones. There's not enough gas in the body. So what happens? The body slows down or stops completely. So there is this feedback mechanism that goes to the brain, and then the pituitary gland sends a massive scream to the thyroid gland saying, hey, we need more gas here. There's not enough going on. We're about to collapse here. Yeah. So it's a scream, if you like, that goes straight to the thyroid. The thyroid hears the scream and it starts secreting the hormones. Now the thyroid secretes two hormones. One is called T4 and one is called T3. 93% of the hormones secreted by the thyroid is T4 and the remaining 7% is T3. Now, why does it secrete two hormones? One hormone, the T4, is called the inactive hormone. Yeah, so what it basically means is that the body can't use it, immediately, as in the form as it is. It needs to be converted into T3. While the T3 hormones that it secretes, which again is only 7%, go straight to the cell to deal with the lack of gas, the need of the cells for the thyroid hormone. The T4 has to be converted, and it can only be converted in the liver. Yeah, so it goes to the liver, it gets converted from T4 to T3, at which point then that T3 can be used by the body, and then everything settles down and everything is back to normal. Yeah, so it's all connected: hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid, liver. Yeah, so that's why it's very often you find that people who got problem with thyroid glands, they've also got a liver issue. Very often the enzymes are raised, so the conversion from T4 to T3 is not working properly. Yeah, and why is that a problem? Well, basically the problem is that, just imagine this: if you got the thyroid is secreting two hormones, one of them can be used immediately, the other one needs to be converted, but your liver can't convert that hormone, then you're only going to have 7% of your hormones working. The other 93%, the T4, is not being converted, or converted at a very low rate. So instead of converting 93% of it, it might just convert 40%. Then that's when you're going to start getting symptoms, and this is where things go wrong when it comes to doctors. Yeah, so doctors in the UK, but I believe in many other countries is the same, doctors only test TSH, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone. That's the hormone that comes out of the pituitary gland, the scream I was mentioning, that tells the thyroid gland, hey, we need some more hormones. So they measure that, and they measure T4, which is only one of the two hormones secreted by the thyroid, the 93% of it, so the most amount of hormone the thyroid secretes, but it's also the inactive form. And as I said to you just now, if you can't convert T4 to T3, you just haven't got any gas in the car. That's how it works. You haven't got the fuel that you need for your body to work properly. So very often people will go to the doctor saying, oh my God, and giving lots of symptoms, saying I'm very, very tired, I'm putting on weight for no reason, I'm losing my hair, lots of different symptoms. And the doctors immediately think thyroid, because of very common symptoms. But because they only do the standard test, then their test will often come back and they're fine. And then the doctors say, well, no, it's not the thyroid, maybe you're stressed out, maybe it's viral. They find other reasons, why you might not be feeling well. Stress, sleep, virus, that's normally what they go for. Hi, Shy. And the problem remains undiagnosed. And you keep on going on, you feel more crap, you keep going to the doctor, and very often what do? If we feel like crap, you're fatigued. Fatigue is one of the major problems with underactive thyroid. What do? We go for all the wrong things, like lots of coffee to try to perk ourselves up. That causes more stress, affects the adrenals, which gives more problems. I'm going to explain in a minute why there's a problem. Or we reach for foods that gives energy, which is sugary foods, which again, it gives another problem, potentially throwing us towards the diabetes side. So, but the problem is there and it's not being diagnosed. So why would the blood test for TSH and T4 be fine if a thyroid is struggling? Well, as I said, it's your T4, your thyroid may be producing enough T4 hormone to register in the range for the doctor to be happy with it. Bear in mind that the range the doctors use to check whether your T4 and your TSH are normal, they are huge. I mean, I'll give you an example. The thyroid stimulating hormone, that's the hormone, that stimulates thyroid to produce more thyroid, thyroxine. The range goes, depending on which lab you go to, because they vary, is anything between 0.2 all the way to 4.55. That's huge. And I tell you, from somebody like myself who suffers from hypothyroidism and Hashimoto, which is the autoimmune version of it, if I'm anything above 1 in that range, I feel like crap. You know, by the time I'm 4, I'm not getting out of bed. And for most doctors, that's in range. Yeah, so that's what the problem is. The range was considered as a normal range is not normal at all, is not optimal. Yeah, and we're all different as well, and what would be optimal for us. And the same goes for T4. Yeah, and even if the T4 registers in the range, like is on the low end of the range, it normally starts to indicate there's the thyroid is struggling here. Yeah, until it's out of the range completely, they won't even look at it. But again, if that could be out of the range, but the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, is still within the range, they still tell you you're fine. No, you're not. The moment your T4 starts dropping, then you know you've got a problem. But the problem could have started months ago with the T3 not being converted in the first place. That's why you feel like crap. Yeah. So if you feel like crap, so you go, exhaustion, fatigue, exhaustion, you're cold all the time, your hair comes out in big chunks, you have a problem. Regardless of what your doctor tells you, you got a problem. The only way to know is to test your T3. That's your active form of thyroid hormone. Yeah, you have to do in the UK. Unfortunately, you have to do it privately. Why? The NHS will not cover that particular test because they cannot give you a pill for it. Yeah, the medication you get in the UK under the NHS is a levothyroxine typically, and is T4. So basically what they do, they give you T4. But if you can't convert T4 to T3, it's bloody pointless. But they don't look at T3. So if you see the thyroid struggling and it actually is coming out from, hi Adam, it's coming out from, by the time it affects your thyroid stimulating hormone and your T3 has been in trouble for quite some time. Yeah. So when it starts affecting any of those two, that meaning they're out of the range, but we know but out of range means it's really, you're feeling really, really bad. Yeah. When it starts affecting that, the medication you get given is T4. If you can't convert T4 to T3, it's absolutely it will make no difference. And I tell you that because I've been fighting with my doctor for 20 years since they removed one of my thyroid glands. And I was feeling like rubbish for years and years and years, kept on going back. There's nothing wrong with you. The thyroid hormones are normal. And you know when you don't feel, when you can't get out of bed, you're struggling to get out of bed, you know that you got a problem. Yeah, and you can't tell me I'm normal. No, I'm sorry, there's no way I'm normal. So it's only when I tested T3 privately then I realized there's a huge problem. My T3 was rock bottom. Yeah, the conversion was really poor. It was 0.4 something. You know, it's ridiculous, almost non-existent. But my T4 and my TSH were normal. Why? Because I was on medication, which was T4 medication. Of course it looks normal. You give me lots of T4, they're going to look perfectly on the test, but they're not testing the right thing. Yeah, so that's one thing you need to understand. So two hormones secreted by the thyroid glands, T4, T3. T4, 93% of hormones secreted is T4, which is inactive, and if you can't convert it, you're going to feel like rubbish. T3 unfortunately is only 7% secreted that gets used immediately from the cells in the body, and the idea is that the T4 then gets converted in the liver to T3 so your body can use it. When the conversion breaks down or is low or is sluggish, whatever may be the reason, there's lots of reasons I'm going to cover in a minute, then you've got a problem. So you got to test yourself. If you feel bad and whether you're on medication or whether you're not on medication, the doctor tells you not everything is fine, yeah, and you're still not feeling right, your hair is coming out in chunks, you're freezing to death in the middle of summer, I'm telling you, you need to test your T3. Yeah, and then there are medication for T3. I'm taking a combined T4, T3 pill at the moment, which are available through private endocrinologists. You're going to have to pay for that. The NHS won't cover it. But hey, would you rather be flat out with no energy, not being able to do anything, or getting your life back? Yeah, it's a night and day difference between those ones. Okay. So I mentioned to you earlier on that the stress, how the adrenal are linked to your thyroid. Yeah. So why having coffee? You gotta be careful with that. So there is a thyroid, hypothyroid cycle. So all our organs in our body are linked in one way or another. Yeah. That's why we are, everything works ideally optimally, provided we don't put crap in, and then things start going wrong. So the way it works is this: adrenals, so your adrenal glands, yeah. The adrenal glands are the ones that secrete the hormones like cortisol. Everybody knows everybody's heard the cortisol, which is the fight or flight hormone, yeah, when you're stressed out, but also secretes adrenaline, yeah. So when you're under stress, or if you are high levels of inflammation, or for example, if you're taking a lot of stimulants, like for example coffee, yeah, because you're so exhausted from your thyroid and you need something to pick you up, otherwise you can't function, then that's what happens. So the coffee will stimulate the adrenals, yeah, that's what the stimulants are there, produce more adrenaline, produce more cortisol. Now the adrenal gland, the higher the level of stress, so this fight or flight that we are in, these days, what it does is the stress hormone suppresses the thyroid. Why does it do that? Well, if you think about it, the fight or flight, the cortisol and adrenaline are like putting gas on a pedal, yeah. So it's there to give you a boost to get you moving. But the thyroid as well, it does the same. The thyroid is there to get you moving. The T3 and T4, they're trying to get you moving, yeah. So it regulates metabolism and everything. So if you got two things pushing at the same time, the body has to shut one of them down to conserve energy, yeah. And the one that gets shut down is the thyroid. So when your stress levels are high, morning Jane, when your stress levels are high, then and you're in a stressed state, fight or flight, high levels of cortisol, higher levels of adrenaline, whether you cause them through lifestyle, stress at work, family stress, external factor, whether it's because you're having too many stimulants, yeah, to try to keep you awake, then the thyroid gets suppressed. So from the adrenals will suppress the thyroid. Now remember, the thyroid regulates a huge amount of function in the body, including metabolism, yeah. So once the thyroid is suppressed, what happens is the liver slows down, because of course the thyroid, among other things, controls metabolic processes, including the liver. Now the liver is a major organ for us, yeah. So the liver detoxes our body, yeah. So all the stuff that we eat, not just particularly the bad stuff, but it could be stuff that we inhale, stuff that we eat may have pesticides, chemical stuff. We know lots of processed food, got lots of chemical crap in it, yeah. So all that stuff goes through the liver. The liver has to get rid of all these toxins, yeah, and then allows the good stuff to go through the gut to be processed food and stuff like that, yeah. Now when the thyroid slows down, everything slows down, yeah. Your metabolic rate slows down, your heart rate slows down, the liver detox slows down. Now what happens? Now the liver detox is just slowed down. What's going to happen? All this toxic stuff that's in your liver is going to go in your gut. The liver is there to stop all the crap going into your gut, yeah. So the toxic stuff goes into your gut. The gut function starts to decline, yeah. So imagine you get lots of bad stuff going to the gut, you're going to get major symptoms, yeah. It affects your gut bacteria, the good bacteria, so you get more bad bacteria. Of course, what's in the gut? Your immune system sits in your gut, yeah. So your gut goes down, your immune system goes down, you're going to catch everything that goes around under the sun, cold, coughs, flu, everything. You're going to catch everything, yeah. And of course you catch everything. You take more things, take pills, more chemical stuff. Your poor liver can't cope with that, you make things worse, yeah. So it's a chain reaction. But then what happens? It doesn't end there. So once the gut is in decline, because it's got all this crap that's going through from the liver that shouldn't be going through there, yeah. So you have major symptoms, but also it can cause some major damage in the gut, yeah. Then that causes a state of stress, and guess what? The state of stress increases the adrenal function, so it gets more stress hormones produced by the adrenal glands, and we're back to square one. So we started with the stress. The adrenal stress causes the thyroid to slow down, yeah. Thyroid slowdowns causes the liver to slow down. Liver slow down means a lot of this toxic stuff that's in the liver that should be excreted from our body actually goes in the gut. The gut, with all this toxic stuff in the gut goes under stress, causes the adrenal to produce more cortisol and stress hormones. Yeah, and the whole thing, and it is perpetual, keeps going. So we need to break the cycle. Yeah, so of course when the liver goes down because the thyroid function is down, the liver has gone down, and guess what? The conversion from T4 to 3, forget it. If you had the bad conversion, when the liver starts struggling, then you have hardly any conversion going on. Yeah, so all of this is a chain reaction. Yeah, so how do you help your thyroid? If you got underactive thyroid, one of the most important things you got to do, hi Adam, one of the most important thing you need to do is control your stress. Stress comes in various forms: poor sleep or lack of sleep. Yeah, poor quality of sleep could be stressing over things that are not necessary. You know, if I always, you know, I've got family members stressed over nothing, I always say, listen, is somebody gonna die if this happens? No, then let it go. Yeah, it's not life threatening. You know, it's not you're gonna get into trouble. Yeah, so just let it go. You know, if you haven't got the right chicken in Tesco, well, forget it. Get something else. You know, so we stress over because we're so used to having everything now, quick, now, no effort, free if possible, or very cheap. Yeah, so the moment something doesn't fit with these parameters, which very often it doesn't, we get stressed. Yeah, so control your stress level. Don't stress over the little things, they're not necessary. Yeah, work stress, that's something harder to control, because obviously, you know, when you're working for somebody else, you've got to meet certain criteria, and you know the pressure is pounded on you. So the best advice I can give you is just try to find ways to release the stress. My best way to release the stress in the gym. I go to the gym, I hit the machine hard, and then that's it, I'm happy, I'm done. Yeah, some people use yoga, some people use meditation. Whatever works for you, you need to try to let it out. Yeah, because otherwise it's not going to help you. And stress from food, now that's the easiest one to get rid of, guys. Yeah, so whenever we eat food that's bad for us, yeah, processed food in particular, the bad oils, the sugary stuff, all that stuff causes inflammation in the body. Inflammation in the body causes stress. Your adrenals kick in, your thyroid goes down, your liver goes down, your gut is inflamed, and you start again. You can avoid that. Yeah, that is the easiest of all the stress that you can control. Yes, it means that you need to eat healthily. Oh my God, God help us, we gotta eat healthily. You know, it's not that difficult. Yeah, and just remember this, when I was telling you before, when people have got underactive thyroid and they get, you know, they're fatigued all the time, they can't think straight and all that, the first thing they tend to reach for is either coffee or sugary stuff to try to give themselves a boost. Yeah, so that is compounding the problem. Yeah, and in addition to that, you may end up with something as bad as diabetes. So you actually not only compounding the problem, you know, the inflammation and stress cycle for your adrenals and your thyroid, but potentially can give yourself another problem, you know, which is equally as bad, which is diabetes. Yeah, so control your food. Don't use the food as a source of comfort. Just go for a walk, you know, go to fresh air, you know, just remove yourself from the situation. If you're ever stressed, remove yourself from the situation for 5 minutes. That's all you need. Your brain needs to switch off every now and again. So remove yourself from the situation, nice deep breath, go out if you can go out, fresh air, and then go back in, and you'll see that it's not as bad as you thought it was. Yeah, okay, but don't reach for the foods, because that will just compound all the problem. So how do you know whether you got a problem with the thyroid? Well, there's obvious symptoms. Yeah, so first of all, let's cover hypothyroid. Now, thyroid can be underactive, but it can also be overactive. Yeah, so not everybody. Overactive is very rare, and is normally linked to Graves' disease, which is autoimmune. Underactive thyroid, anyone can get an underactive thyroid. It's very often linked with people who are obese, so they really got metabolic damage. Yeah, or diabetes. You know, they normally bring on other condition like problem with the thyroid, while the or it can be, to be honest with you, the thyroid declines with age, like everything in the human body. As we get older, it declines. Yeah, so it's normal for the thyroid to decline with age, but normally you know, is not to the point where you need medications. You know, most of the elderly people, they, as you see, you don't move as much, the heart rate is a bit lower, the metabolic rate is lower, they don't eat as much anymore. That is part of the aging process. That's okay, is normal. What is not normal when you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s and you're struggling to function. Now, that's not normal. That's the problem with the thyroid, yeah? So, underactive thyroid symptoms, or hypothyroidism as it's called in the medical circles, well, the most obvious one is weight. You will put on weight, or you struggle to lose weight. More often you put on weight without making any changes to your diet, the weight piles on. What the hell is going on? Now, we know menopause can do that, but if you're not menopausal and you're starting putting on weight, then you need to start questioning the thyroid. Yeah, but even if you're menopausal, we're still questioning the thyroid. Get a full test on. Yeah. Other common thing is intolerance to cold. And I'll give you an example. Is you're always feeling cold, in particular your hands and your feet. I will be in the summer when my thyroid is really underactive. In the summer, I'll have woolly socks on for sleeping. I mean, my feet are frozen solid. Yeah, so are my hands, despite the fact it can be nice and warm outside. That's what, you're really intolerant to that. It can, a few degrees change in temperature and you're like, oh, for God, it's so cold, it's ridiculous. You know, when nobody else notices the difference. So you become really intolerant to that. Because remember, underactive thyroid, everything slows down. Your heart rate slows down, your metabolism slows down. That's why you started putting more weight. Your organs, the way your organs work, everything slows down. Yeah, very often you got low blood pressure as well with underactive thyroid. Everything goes down. You have fatigue. Now, the fatigue is how to describe it? Is worse than fatigue. It's actually exhaustion. Is the best way to describe it to you is like somebody turned off a power. And I could be, for example, giving an indication, I may be fine, let's say, you know, moving around during the day, doing what I need to do, going on with my life, and all of a sudden, boom, it hits me. And oh God, I can't move. And you can't think straight, you're absolutely exhausted. Normally towards the mid-afternoon, evening, it starts hitting, yeah? And there's nothing you can do. Anything you do, anything you eat, anything, it doesn't work. Yeah, so that's one of the things you get. Your hair gets really dry. Apart from the fact that you lose a lot of it, but it gets really dry. Dry skin. Yeah. You struggle with memory. Very often people get constipation. It will go the other way, you get diarrhea, but more often you get constipation because, again, your bowel slows down. Everything slows down. That's your underactive thyroid, yeah? So if you're getting any of these kind of symptoms, and, you know, nothing has changed drastically in your life, you're not under, you're not changing your diet, you're not doing a ridiculous amount of exercise, that could exhaust you, of course, anything like that, nothing major change, and you're suddenly you're putting on weight, you're losing your hair, everything, you know, you can't think straight, you're cold, that you've got a problem. Another thing actually you can notice is your body temperature. Very often people with underactive thyroid got very low body temperature. My body temperature is typically around about 35 degrees Celsius. Most people be 37. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but 2 degrees. The moment my body temperature goes up towards 36, I feel like I'm feverish. And it's actually not. You know, that's the difference. Yeah, it's quite remarked, and people under underactive thyroid know, they can feel the difference. The other side of the coin is overactive thyroid. Now, with overactive thyroid, you get the opposite. So you are insomnia is very common with overactive thyroid because, of course, you're hyper all the time. Yeah? But it's not, you think, oh, like, I'd rather be hyper than not. No, it's not a nice energy. It's like a nervous, anxious type of energy. So it's not a kind of energy that you want to have, and it's, you know, fidgeting all the time, and you lose weight because of it. Everything is overactive. Everything works twice as fast, so you tend to lose weight. Sudden weight loss without changing your diet could be a marker of that. However, not always. Yeah, I've had overactive thyroid because it's linked to Hashimoto, which I will explain in a different live. And when I have my overactive thyroid symptoms, I don't get, that'd be nice to just drop the weight for doing nothing. It never happens to me. So not everybody gets that, but if it is purely Graves' disease, which is overactive thyroid, autoimmune, you will notice your weight just drops, and that is a very serious condition. Actually, that is even more serious than underactive thyroid. Yeah, and everything works doubles fast. So your oily hair, oily skin, You still lose hair actually with overactive thyroid. Still get hair coming out in chunks, but as I say, you feel hyper, you get diarrhea rather than constipation. Also for the ladies, is worth mentioning, if you have an overactive thyroid, you may find your periods go completely. If you're underactive, you may find that they keep coming more than you want to, yeah, almost like having endometriosis. So it's totally opposite side of a coin, yeah. But sometimes if you have autoimmune, like myself, I got Hashimoto, which is autoimmune version of underactive thyroid. Whenever the immune system attacks your gland and you lose chunks of gland, there's a massive release of hormone and you get hyper symptoms every now and again, and then it goes back to very low. So there are times when you can have both hyper and hypothyroid, but those are normally linked to autoimmune. So those are the signs of underactive, overactive. So if you get any of these signs, and and you haven't had many major changes in your life, then you really need to investigate them. How do you investigate them? You can go to the doctor, ask for the thyroid function test, which normally includes just the thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, and the T4. That test, I'm sorry guys, is a waste of time. I'm going to be honest with you. The doctors will do the test because it's part of the normal blood test, but you're just wasting your time. What you want to do is a full thyroid function panel. So you want the TSH, you want the T4, you want the T3. Remember, that's the active form. Yeah, if that is not good, then doesn't matter what the other two are doing, because you've got no energy anyway. It's not working. And I would also advise to have the 2 thyroid antibodies checked. Why am I saying that? The reason is because 97% of people who got underactive thyroid, they got an underlying autoimmune disorder, which is typically Hashimoto for underactive, or Graves' disease for overactive. And if you got an underlying autoimmune disorder, you have to make major changes to your diet in particular, but also to your lifestyle to control autoimmune, because what it means, the immune system is attacking your thyroid, is destroying little by little, and if that's not brought under control, not only you're going to be left with very little, no thyroid, and then medication is, you're going to struggle to have enough thyroid hormone, but also once you develop an autoimmune disorder, you are more you got a higher percentage of developing other autoimmune disorders, which are not a nice thing to have. Yeah, so yes, you may have to pay privately for this test, full thyroid function panel. So as I say, TSH, T4, T3, and the thyroid antibodies, there's 2 of them. Yeah, and those ones you can get them privately. If you need help with that, I've got a company that I've been using for many years to do my own private blood test, because of course, as I say, the doctors won't play ball most of the time. So, and you can get 10% discount if you want. Just let me know, and I will send you the link. Okay, so so I hope you found this helpful, guys. It was just to give you an introduction to the thyroid. So what thyroid is, how it works, how the whole thing is connected with your adrenals, your liver, and your gut. Symptoms of hypothyroid and hyperthyroid, and what blood test you need to do to understand whether you've got that. Yeah, what I'm gonna do next week, I'll do as part of the thyroid series, I'll do another live when we're going to go into more details about the foods that will support your thyroid, what you need to do, the life change you need to do to help you cover a little bit of autoimmune, the difference between autoimmune and non-autoimmune thyroid issues. Yeah. In the meantime, if you've got any question, please put it on the comments. Write any question, I'll answer as much as I can. And if you need any help, guys, with your thyroid, or with diabetes as well, cover diabetes as well, then please reach out. I will put a link to my programs. I do online programs, so you don't have to see me face to face if you don't want to, personally, if you live far away. and the programs that both deal with the exercise side and the nutrition side for people with thyroid dysfunction, autoimmune, as well as type 1, type 2 diabetes. Okay, so I hope you find it useful. Share it if you know anybody with underactive thyroid, share it with them. And next week I'm going to go in a bit more details, covering another side regarding the thyroid, how you can start making changes to your life to get you where you need to be, to get your thyroid supported. And as I always say, listen, doctors are general practitioners, yeah, so they're not experts in anything. They're just general practitioners. That means they know a little bit of everything, but not enough to be experts in anything. And unfortunately, they have to follow guidelines set by the NHS. The guidelines set by the NHS is the only test they provide for thyroid, TSH and T4. Yeah, so if you have a problem with the thyroid, those tests come out normal, and you're still not feeling right, your hair is falling out, your energy levels, you're fatigued all the time, you're cold all the time, you need to go privately. These days you can get a thyroid test for 60 quid, privately, covering everything, autoimmune antibodies, T3, T4, TSH. So they're not that expensive. It's you can do it without a Starbucks coffee for a couple of weeks and you cover that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't have coffee anyway because it's bad for your adrenals. So that's put that on the side there. Yeah, so please just be aware that you will not always get help from the medical profession, and if you don't play ball, you've got to go and get your answers, people. You can't leave it. This is not something that can be left. As I say, the thyroid is vital gland. By the time this shows on the standard blood test the doctors do, you are in dire strait, especially if you've got an autoimmune disorder in the background. Yeah, so take action. It's your health. Remember, if you haven't got your health, you got nothing, because your house, your lifestyle, your job, everything, your happiness depends on you being healthy. If your health goes down, you're going to lose everything. Yeah, okay, so have a great day. Got a bit of sunshine today, so long it last year in the UK, and hope everybody's got a great day, great week. And I say, put some comments if you've got any questions, and I'll aim at trying to answer everyone. Okay, bye everyone.